While I was enjoying Thanksgiving dinner, as you would imagine, my mind was wondering about different things that might make the hunting horn a more popular option. One of the things that popped into my head first was that maybe the introduction of new, useful songs might help to have that popularity trending upward at a faster pace. Because I think it's pretty safe to say that with Iceborne, the hunting horn is sitting in a much better spot and more popular than it was in base, thanks to the new improvements and mechanics. A few of these song ideas might be looked at in the light that they are too powerful or render some skills pointless, blah blah blah, etc, etc. But the main point of this is to bring about discussion. The main overarching point is to make the hunting horn more appealing, or to at least give people even more of a reason to dip their toes in the water. Most of these are just ones that I kind of thought would be useful, while one of them is probably a pretty popular suggestion. I'm not saying all of these would or should be implemented at once, but having any of them, in my opinion, would at least bring a little more attention to the hunting horn, some more than others. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this list, which is in no particular order. First off is a song idea that I expressed in another video, specifically the Zinogre horn video, because it directly relates to a mechanic of that monster. It could even be unique to the Zinogre horns to actually give them a unique feel. The idea is that you could play a song and would have different stages of effectiveness, let's say 3 like Zinogre. Each time you complete a playthrough of the song, you can get a bonus to your attack, element, and status buildup, kinda like Coalescence. How you handle it from there could be something that's unique too. They could have it set to where you have a damage threshold, and once you meet that, the effect is done. Or they could even have it to where if you get knocked down, the effect disappears, similar to a hammer's power charge. Now once this effect is taken away or over, you could get a buff or debuff, whatever you want to call it, placed on you that negated you from benefiting from that effect for so long. I know that the way I've introduced it might seem kind of convoluted or messy, but with some polish it could be pretty straightforward. This song alone would give people more of a reason to make use of a unique horn, which might not be getting as much use from a performance standpoint currently. A song like this alone would also draw people to have something like this in their group. It's a bit out there, but I think they could find a way to implement it smoothly. The next song idea is throwing in an evade extender song. Pretty simple, right? I thought to myself what skill I liked having, but usually couldn't fit in without sacrificing too much DPS. Evade extender is something that is extremely useful coming from a defensive perspective, and can be really great for positioning yourself to make a precision strike too. It's not something that's going to make people jump to the hunting horn and use it, but I feel like it's a song that people would appreciate and use consistently just for the comfort it provides. This would be a song that I could actually see them implementing, and it could even synergize pretty well with horns that have the new speed boost and evade window increase bubble. It might even fit narratively pretty well on horns like the total piece of junk that's the Cry in the Night, or something like Ogre Bite that come from monsters that leap all over the place. To be honest, this is just personal hope for myself because I really love Evade Extender, but it's tough to slot in without some DPS loss. Moving on to the next song idea, I think this is something that might actually bring more draw to the hunting horn, or at least increase the demand for it. I'm not a huge fan of any of the health recovery songs really, especially for group hunts. The health recovery songs really lose a lot of their minimal draw that they already have if people in your group don't have recovery up. And this, my friends, is where we bring in the song. A recovery up song to really bring in the heals. My main thing that keeps me from using the health recover songs on horns is that items are so easily and quickly accessible, and the songs don't really give you enough of a heal to justify using it over items. I get that the songs keep you from having to slot in wide range, but wide range really isn't too tough to slot in, and if you're going for that support angle, you aren't as worried about dropping down your DPS a little bit. Getting back to the recovery up song, you jack up everybody else's healing factor and put that power in their hands. Recovery up, at least in my experience, is something I can tell people most definitely don't slot in regularly in group hunts. You combine this song with having wide range, and you can really do some solid healing. Or you can use the health recovery songs and actually make them worthwhile without having to use wide range. This might be one that people would say is too much, but with some tweaking, I think it could be implemented and bring use of some of the less DPS heavy horns and really bringing some more utility to these horns. Now this last song, I think would definitely be the longest shot to possibly get put into World. A Sharpness song could be something that would provide some pretty good utility, but not to the point that you'd make Hunting Horn seem anywhere close to broken. Having a way for your group to get some sharpening without everyone having to be vulnerable to interruption is something that would be welcomed by any and all hunters. The usefulness of a song like this gets bumped up pretty high in the state of the game as we speak. A lot of the meta options in any weapon category have a very slight chunk of purple sharpness with limited hits. Get that song going and bam, you bring your group DPS back up to optimized stages of purple. Maybe the Encore can even get you a reduced version of Protective Polish. Even without that, I'd still settle for just the regular sharpening it would provide. Now of course this song would not provide any kind of benefit to bow and bowgun users, so what if we switched it up a little? What if the song provided the effect of razor sharp spare shot? Then the Encore becomes an extension. There you eliminate the problem of ranged weaponry losing out on benefiting from the song, as well as still making it worthwhile for melee weapons. Not many people have razor sharp built directly into their build and instead go for Master's Touch meta, so you wouldn't be in much danger of the razor sharp song losing its benefit or overlapping too much. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I know that pretty much any of these songs would be a long shot to be implemented, and a few might be considered too much. But in my eyes, when you have the least popular weapon, you sometimes have to break it a little bit to fix it. This video's main purpose is to start up a discussion though. On another note, it's almost time for Stygian Zinogre and I couldn't be more hype. As promised, I'm going to have that horn crafted, ready to go, and reviewed as soon as possible. But what do you guys think? Do any of these song ideas tickle your fancy? What's a song you think would be a good fit to introduce and bring more attention to the hunting horn? Or do you think it's perfect just the way it is? And how pumped are you for Stygian Zinogre? If you like this video, please do let me know with the thumbs up. Comment down below with your song ideas, feedback, and hype level for Stygian Zinogre. Subscribe if you haven't already for more Iceborne and hunting horn content. Have a good night and happy hunting.